guys, Colebello here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make custom dormers, also known as roof pop-outs, in Bloxburg. Now, you may have added these to your builds before with in-game walls and roofs, but these ones are so much better. These ones are fully custom, which means they look seamless from both the interior and the exterior, and they are not going to glitch through your roofs. So if you want to add something to your builds that's sure to impress all of your friends, then keep on watching. So here I've built a little room just as an example that we can build our dormers on top of. Now obviously you can choose whatever dimensions you want for the room, and it can really be any room you want. I think these look best in like a living room, but feel free to be creative, of course. Now we're going to start by creating the windows, which are fully custom. So I'm just placing down a cube as a base. Now the thickness of this is going to be 0.5, and then the width and height is going to vary depending on how big you want them to be. For this one I'm doing 5.5 by 0.9 if you want to copy it. And now I'm just placing another one on top and transforming it up to the height that I want. I'd recommend making it taller than it is wide, so something like this looks good. Now I'm placing another, making it the same width as this to act as the border on the sides. Now I'm going to make an additional border for the window to sit in. So I'm just going to copy this and take it to a width of 0.75, and then the thinnest it goes. And this is just going to go on the sides and the top and the bottom. It should look something like this, and now I'm going to take a transparent cube and resize it to the smallest width, and then put that right in the middle for the window itself. Now I'm going to take some small square beams and start putting them across to act as the lines that go in the middle of the window, whatever that's called. So for this you can do whatever design you want, but I'm just going to do 3 down and 3 vertical. Just make sure you adjust the width to be 0.5. And just like that, we have a custom window, which should be copy pastable. And now we're just going to add some horizontal wedges on top for the peaked gable roof. Just adjust this to the smallest thickness and half the width of this. And once you have one, just copy it, rotate it, and put it on the other side. Now that we have this part done, I'm going to copy it because I want to, and now I'm going to put these into place so that I can build up the roof around them. So you want these to be centered and a little bit less than 1 tile away from the front wall. And then once you've done that, you can transform them up to a height that's just above the second floor. Just make sure to keep track of how high you're going so that you can do the same to the other one. And when you're choosing a height, you just want to imagine how steep your roof behind it is going to be. So you can almost draw an imaginary line from the edge of your roof to the edge of your dormer and kind of trace that out mentally to see how steep the roof would be behind it. And so I'm actually going to move this up a bit more. You don't want your roof to be too shallow because then the dormer is going to have to stretch out super far behind to reach the roof. And then once you like it, just do the same number on the other side. This one is 14.52, I believe. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more space in between these. Now obviously if you try to put a roof around this, it's just going to go straight through, so we are going to have to go in with the basic shapes and make it fully from scratch, which can be intimidating, but I will show you all the tips to make it easier. So for all my roofs I like to do 2 layers. One is kind of like a base layer that's thicker, and then the top layer is usually the actual color of the roof with the shingles, and that is much thinner. So I'm going to start with the base layer. This is going to be a thickness of 1 and then just as wide as it can go. Now we're going to use transform and start trying to create the right angle for the roof. Now obviously this is going to be a lot of trial and error, but you want to create a perfect line that meets at this bottom corner here and connects to the inner corner of this wall. Now since this roof is so thick, you can tell that it's going to cover up this bottom part if it matches up with this bottom part here. So I'm actually going to add some more thickness down here to counteract that. This looks much better. So now I'm going to go ahead and tackle this roof. Now that I have the angle that I want, I'm going to extend the roof up the sides and the middle. Now that the basic form of the roof is starting to take shape, I'm going to start connecting the dormer to the roof, and we're going to start with the top part. So resize a cube to the thinnest size and stretch it out. And for this one, it doesn't let you place it on this side, so you are going to have to manually transform to match the angle to this, which is annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Now you're going to have to do some more trial and error to get the right width for this, but you want it to roughly line up right here with the edge of this roof. And since all the transforming is kind of tedious, I would recommend just deleting it for the second one and copying from this side, because then you can just place it right there. And now all that's left is patching up this hole right here, which can be done with a horizontal wedge. So just resize it like so. Then again, this is going to be more trial and error, so you got to rotate it 90 degrees and start moving it into place. And then the important part with this is that it needs to line up on the inside edge, because if you just do it to match this edge on the outside, there's still all this space in here where it could be misaligned and it could look weird from the interior. So just make sure that this line meets this line. Now I would say this looks pretty good. You can still see the seam a little bit, but no one's probably going to notice, so it's okay. And now you just got to copy that 3 more times for each of these walls. And just like that, the dormers are now seamlessly connected to the gable roof behind it. Now all that's left is to add one final layer up top to finish off the roof. And finally, you can go in with another horizontal wedge to fill this gap right here. But honestly, I'm a little bit too lazy to do that for you guys. So you're just gonna have to use your imagination on that one. But it's literally a similar process. Just place it down, resize it, transform it, make it seamless. You know the vibe, you know the vibe. Now that is pretty much it for the basics of this tutorial, but you can obviously add a lot more things to make it more finished and personal. Personally, if I was actually finishing this for a build, I would add another layer on top for the roof, and I would add 2 more layers up here to kind of mimic that same roof structure. Here's an example of what that looks like on a finished house. As you can see, I got 2 layers here and 2 layers on the top as well. And then you can add a bunch of decorations to it to make it even more custom. As you can see, I have some custom wood shutters here and some custom decorations up top. And these are pretty simple to make. You just do a cube with a vertical plank in the middle, and then these are just thin square beams. And you can also use decals to really add some custom decoration to it. Since this is like a winter snowy vibe, I added some frosted snow decals. But if this is like a fall theme, you can do leaves, or if it's like spring, you can do some just like plants and foliage. You can really make it unique and kind of suitable to whatever style you want. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen the 2 houses that I made with dormers yet, the full speed builds are on my channel, so you should definitely go check them out. My next build may or may not have dormers in it as well, so stay tuned. As always, make sure to follow my socials. I'm on Instagram and hopefully TikTok if it doesn't get banned soon. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!